Welcome back to the studio, everybody. Puerto Rico is in trouble this week. Puerto Rico's government development bank missed most of a $422 million payment. This trouble believed to be just a taste of things to come, given the island territory's $72 billion in debt. Members of Congress and the White House now trying to figure out what to do about all this, and investors are bracing for potential trouble. Reporter Mike DeBonis covers the Hill for the Washington Post. He joins us now here in the studio. With us by phone is Professor Arturo Porzekanski. He's the distinguished economist in residence at American University. He spent many years on Wall Street and is an expert in international finance, emerging markets, and Latin American economics. Good to have both of you here. Time is tight, unfortunately. Mike DeBonis, Puerto Rico's options would seem to be limited because it's not a state and it's not a nation.
That's right, and under federal law, there is no regime for a territory like Puerto Rico to restructure its debts, and that's what Congress is debating now. Are they going to create a process whereby there's an orderly restructuring, much like a bankruptcy, or is Puerto Rico going to be left to basically deal with this themselves with their creditors?
Give us a sense of the scale of the problem. I mean, the numbers are huge, but how do you size this up, Professor, in terms of the size of the challenge we're looking at here?
Well, it's a big challenge because Puerto Rico has had easy access to the U.S. municipal market on a triple tax exempt basis, so that investors in all 50 U.S. states have been able to buy Puerto Rican bonds, mostly indirectly through when they put their money in various managed funds. They've been able to buy Puerto Rican debt, triple tax exempt, as they can buy bonds issued in their own locality. And that allowed Puerto Rico over the years to rack up the third largest debt burden in the United States. First comes California. It's understandable. California would be a major country on its own. Then comes the state of New York, understandable as well. And then comes Puerto Rico with its $70-odd billion.
Mike, are lawmakers worried not only about simply the dollars that might be required to bring Puerto Rico back to some sort of good financial condition, but also a sense that they mismanaged their finances and shouldn't be rewarded by some huge bailout?
Yeah, the moral hazard question, so to speak. You know, if we bail out Puerto Rico, or are we just paving the way? In particular, is this going to create a predicate for states like California, like Illinois, who have run into fiscal troubles? Are they going to come to Congress in years and ask for some sort of similar process to discharge their own debts? And that's something that's very much part of the debate. Although there are serious constitutional questions about whether that would be possible. Puerto Rico is a special case because it's a U.S. territory. Congress has complete autonomy over their affairs.
Professor, is there a sense on Wall Street about how Congress here in Washington should deal with all this?
Yes, I would say that most investment professionals managing mutual funds, pension funds, etc., would rather Puerto Rico follow the existing laws and the existing indentures, because every bond that Puerto Rico sold contemplated the possibility that something like this might happen. But the problem is that the government of Puerto Rico, it's a very, I would say, populist left-wing government. They have decided not to pay their debts and to seek, rather, a change in the rules of the game, courtesy of the United States Congress. That's why they're not paying. They made a decision not to pay. It's not because revenues have collapsed overnight. It's not because spending has gone through the roof. They've made a political decision that they will have more bargaining power vis-a-vis bondholders and the rest by not paying. So this raises very serious issues of precedent, as was mentioned, and also about to the extent to which the federal government should intervene in Puerto Rico.
Professor, thank you very much for your time. Professor Arturo Porzekanski is an economist in residence, distinguished economist in residence at American University. Mike DeBonis covers the Hill for the Washington Post. Thank you both very much. Again, we're tracking breaking news for you in Bethesda, Westfield, Montgomery Mall, where there's been a shooting. 3 people shot. We don't know their conditions. 2 men and a woman shot, and a suspect on the run. So a lot for us to track. We have crews on the scene. We'll have the latest for you at the top of the hour and at WJLA.com. That's News Talk for today. I'm Bruce DePoy. Thanks for watching. Have a great weekend. We'll see you Monday.